The movie opens with a scene depicting police officers entering a building where they encounter a ghost. They attempt to open a door, but their hands freeze upon touching it. After breaking through, they find that everyone in the building is frozen in ice except for a mysterious iron ball that is moving. When one of the officers touches the ball, all the frozen individuals suddenly collapse and die, revealing the presence of a ghost within the ball. Fast forward to 120 years later, the story shifts focus to a team of Ghostbusters tasked with fighting and capturing ghosts to protect the city. While on their way somewhere in a car, they spot a free-roaming ghost in the city. Phoebe, a member of the team, attempts to control the ghost using a laser gun, but her efforts prove unsuccessful. Another team member tries to capture the ghost using a device from their car, but they also fail. In a strategic move, their team leader, Callie, decides to send a drone to control the ghost. However, their intense focus on capturing the ghost causes them to neglect the road, leading to potential danger. After causing significant damage to the road and experiencing their own accident, the Ghostbusters are summoned by the mayor, who admonishes them for the destruction they've caused to the city. Despite their defense of saving the city from ghosts, the mayor insists that their actions are unacceptable and threatens to cease their operations. Additionally, the mayor demands the removal of Phoebe, citing her young age as a reason for her unsuitability for the job. Despite attempts to persuade the mayor, his decision stands. Feeling upset with her group for agreeing with the mayor's decision, Phoebe finds solace when the Ghostbusters assure her that she will be included in missions in 3 years. Meanwhile, in Callie's house, the team encounters a malfunction in their ghost containment pipeline in the basement. With perseverance, Callie and her partner manage to fix the machine, ensuring that the remaining ghosts remain trapped. After a scene transition, the story shifts to a shop selling ghost-related items, where a boy arrives to sell the same metallic ball seen in the movie's opening. When the shopkeeper inspects the ball for ghosts, an earthquake suddenly shakes the shop, causing chaos and breaking the ghost-checking machine. The ball remains untouched but freezes the table beneath it, causing it to shatter and the ball to fall. Similarly, the ball's power affects Callie's house, creating a large hole where ghost containment pipelines are located. During this turmoil, one of Callie's partners attempts to capture a ghost in her house, but fails when the ghost escapes. Alerting the team about the ghost's evasion, they rush to apprehend it, leaving Phoebe alone. Feeling isolated, Phoebe finds herself playing chess and realizes the ghost is playing with her. Initially feeling strange, Phoebe continues the game, finding solace in the ghost's company. Surprised, the ghost confronts Phoebe, questioning her lack of fear. Phoebe, unfazed, responds that dealing with ghosts is just part of her daily routine. The following day, Callie summons a ghost engineer to her residence to rectify issues with the ghost pipelines. Upon inspecting the pipelines, the engineer notes evidence of a previous attack, but assures the Ghostbusters that he has established a new secure base for ghost containment. Intrigued by his methods, the Ghostbusters are introduced to a machine capable of capturing ghosts and then automatically releasing them into containment, a feature that impresses them greatly. Meanwhile, as the Ghostbusters receive a new mission, Phoebe, left alone at home, receives a distress call from an emergency hotel seeking assistance in capturing a ghost. She promptly sets out with her companion to address the situation. Simultaneously, the ghost engineer decides to utilize the metallic ball seen at the movie's outset, placing it into his machine. However, upon activation, the ball exhibits its dangerous power. It releases a small ghost that evades capture, departing from the machine unexpectedly. As the engineer moves to apprehend the ball, his hand freezes along with the machine, underscoring the peril posed by the ball's potent abilities. After her failed attempt to capture the ghost at the restaurant, Phoebe realizes it's the same ghost she played chess with earlier. Despite her efforts with a laser stick, the ghost escapes, causing significant damage to the hotel. As a result, Phoebe is prohibited from further ghost-catching activities and returns home unsuccessful. Back at her house, Phoebe encounters the ghost again, surprised to find ghostly pipelines within her home, which she reveals belong to her grandfather for containing ghosts. During their conversation, the ghost that emerged from the metallic ball communicates with another ghost named Melody, indicating a coordinated plan involving Phoebe. It becomes evident that the repeated appearances of Melody and other ghosts before Phoebe are not mere coincidence, hinting at a larger scheme orchestrated by the ghosts. Meanwhile, Phoebe's colleague continues his efforts to capture the same green ghost. However, their house suddenly shakes, prompting them to investigate and discover an attempt to freeze and break their ghost pipeline, further escalating the situation. In the ghost base, the engineer conducts experiments on the metal ball, discovering its unique properties. When burned, it freezes instead of melting, and it attracts ghosts like a magnet when brought near them, an unprecedented discovery for the team. Determined to uncover more about the ball, they seek out the man who sold it to their shop. The man reveals that the ball belonged to his deceased grandmother and leads them to a room containing the old soldier's belongings. Returning to their lab with the man, an expert tests him to determine any connections to ghosts or additional powers. They observe that the flame behind the man fluctuates with his emotions, suggesting a possible link. Meanwhile, Phoebe meets with the same shopkeeper who purchased ghosts, expressing concerns about the metal ball's powers. The shopkeeper's assistant mentions a YouTuber known for discussing ghosts and possessing a ghost library, offering a potential lead in their investigation. Phoebe believes that the YouTuber may possess knowledge about the mysterious ball. Upon meeting him and showing a picture of the ball, he recognizes it and identifies the ancient language inscribed on it. He suggests a book that can translate the language, leading to the discovery of information about a powerful ghost named Garaka, also known as the Ice King. According to the translated text, a king summoned Garaka to help him rule the world, but greed led the king to seek Garaka's powers for himself. In response, Garaka froze the king's army out of anger, posing a threat to the entire world. To stop him, a fire master emerged, ultimately defeating Garaka and imprisoning him within the ball. Additionally, the YouTuber plays a recording of Garaka's story for Phoebe and her team members, shedding more light on the ghost's history and the significance of the ball. As they listen to the recording, a red-colored ghost takes control of their equipment, collecting all the recordings and placing them in a trash can. The team rushes to apprehend the ghost, but it escapes with a trash bag. Outside the building, the ghost manifests as a lion statue, but Phoebe disables it with her electric gun, inadvertently causing destruction and the breaking of Garaka's recording. Due to Phoebe's actions, she is arrested by the police, leading to consequences for the entire Ghostbuster group. The mayor announces the cessation of Ghostbusters operations in the city, sealing Callie's house, which served as a containment facility for ghosts. Additionally, the police seize control of the Ghostbusters laser guns. Meanwhile, the man from the ghost library confronts the owner, criticizing him for selling the ball and allowing Garaka to gain power. The owner, identified as a fire master, is admonished for neglecting his responsibility to safeguard the ball, further exacerbating the situation. Before Garaka could unleash chaos upon the world, the fire master needed to unlock his powers to control the ball. Uncertain of how to proceed, he was amazed to find himself effortlessly manipulating fire with a simple gesture. Meanwhile, Phoebe, feeling guilty for causing trouble for her group, confided in the ghost, who had become a close friend. Phoebe expressed her self-doubt, but the ghost reassured her, inviting her to witness something remarkable. Inside the ghost chamber, Phoebe's soul was momentarily separated from her body as the ghost demonstrated its abilities. This revelation left Phoebe in awe, opening her eyes to the supernatural world around her. After the ghost apologized to Phoebe, admitting to exploiting her kindness, dark powers emanated from the metal ball, seizing control over Phoebe's body and soul. This sinister force turned out to be none other than Garaka. His release caused chaos, prompting the inhabitants of the ghost base to encounter Garaka. Despite their attempts to thwart him with laser guns, Garaka had already rendered them useless with his freezing abilities. Before they could apprehend him, Garaka fled the scene, evading capture. After Callie successfully restores Phoebe's soul to her body, Garaka, the malevolent entity, breaks free from his imprisonment at the Fire Master's house. Reclaiming his horns, Garaka regains his formidable powers and sets out to exact revenge on the king. His ultimate goal is to freeze the world and bring it under his control, unleashing a devastating snowstorm across the globe. Concerned about the city's plight, all the Ghostbusters assemble at the Ghost Base, where they learn from the owner of the Ghost Library that Garaka is responsible for the snowstorm. They realize that only a Fire Master can control Garaka. Although initially skeptical of the Fire Master's abilities, they witness his impressive demonstration of controlling fire without any tools. Despite their doubts, the Ghostbusters understand the urgency of the situation and seek to retrieve their laser guns, confiscated by the police. The Ghost Engineer provides them with advanced suits and laser guns to aid in their battle against the ghosts. However, their preparations are disrupted by the Red Ghost, manipulated by Garaka, who possesses the power to control machines. Determined to stop the Ghostbusters, the Red Ghost poses a formidable challenge to their mission to thwart Garaka's destructive plans. As the Ghostbusters attempt to leave, the Red Ghost seizes control of their latest model car and launches a laser attack, endangering one of the Ghostbusters. In a dramatic turn, the Fire Master intervenes, using his powers to deflect the lethal laser and save the Ghostbuster from harm. In a desperate attempt to counter the Red Ghost, the Ghostbusters retaliate with their own lasers, prompting the Red Ghost to seek refuge inside a pizza. However, a Green Killer's ghost, confined to its dwelling, unwittingly consumes the pizza with the Red Ghost inside, sparing the Ghostbusters from one threat. Meanwhile, Phoebe confronts another ghost in her basement, who expresses remorse for their actions driven by a desire for freedom. Phoebe urges the ghost to reconsider their choices, emphasizing the potential for goodness despite the dire circumstances facing the world. However, their discussion is interrupted as Garaka breaches the walls and enters the scene. Despite the Ghostbusters' united laser assault, Garaka effortlessly neutralizes their weapons and proceeds to shatter the pipeline containing imprisoned ghosts, unleashing chaos with his formidable powers. All the released ghosts scatter throughout the city, terrorizing the frozen populace. With Garaka poised to wreak further havoc, Phoebe's courageous companion ignites a matchstick, leading the charge alongside the Fire Master. Together, they amplify the flames, weakening Garaka in a powerful display of fire mastery. As Garaka's strength wanes, the Ghostbusters rally, bombarding him with their lasers until he falls under their control. In a last-ditch effort, they activate the damaged ghost pipeline, miraculously restoring its functionality and ensnaring Garaka along with a horde of other malevolent spirits. With Garaka contained, the snow begins to recede, signaling the restoration of peace to the world. Phoebe's friend, now liberated from the spectral realm, commends Phoebe for her unwavering belief in the power of goodness. As she departs to the afterlife, the grateful citizens of the city emerge to express their gratitude, applauding the Ghostbusters for their heroic deeds. Even the once skeptical mayor is compelled to acknowledge their valor, granting Phoebe permission to continue her work with the team. Filled with joy and satisfaction, the Ghostbusters embrace their newfound unity and purpose, ready to confront the challenges ahead. As the movie concludes, the Ghostbusters embark on their next mission, prepared to capture the remaining escaped ghosts and safeguard the city once more.